So where does the spare parts fit here? So think about the spare parts in the storeroom as an important part of the work management, planning and scheduling workflow or process. We prevent, inspect, and prioritize. So we find things early. We plan that work order. We gather the spare parts because we should have time to do that. And sometimes we might even buy them at that point if we haven't stocked them, if we have enough time. We schedule the work when the whole work package is actually ready to go. And we execute the work, hopefully to good quality. So what we're saying here, to execute work effectively, the chain must not be broken. So all of these things have to be working really well. So as you can see, the spare parts is just one link in the chain here. So if you don't have the right parts for a job, it'll be delayed, and that may not be effective use of your resources. Having the parts does not necessarily mean that you have to stock them. Think about it that way, if you can get them in time. And there are other ways we can stock them or somebody stock them for you. So again, planning and scheduling is kind of the hub, how you manage maintenance and how you get work through the whole system. And of course, there are a lot of interfaces there, and the storeroom is one of them. We talked about accounting. How do we actually account for parts? Do we put them in the storeroom as their value, or do they get actually consumed right away when we buy them? It depends on what organization you're in. Do we have our technical database up to date so we know what we have in store? Is it easy to search? How do we do purchasing when we need the parts or replace the stock? So those are some of the things that are important. So sometimes if it's difficult in the storeroom, even if you manage the storeroom well, there could be those interfaces that causing issues that you have to work out with different other parts of the organization or processes. So we talk about usually quality. Parts affects the quality of the product that you're actually producing. One example is that the materials is touching the product in a pharma plant, then suddenly we need how you even made an O-ring has to be, you need documentation where the material in the O-ring was actually made, all the way from cradle to grave, so to speak. So that creates a lot of extra work. What about capital projects? Storing, receiving parts and equipment for projects, is that part of the storeroom responsibility? That should be clear. Or is it stored in the storeroom? One other process that we talked about is management of change. So a lot of plants say to be in compliance with regulatory demands or just from a safety standpoint, nothing can be changed and it's like for like. And if it's not like for like, we have to have an approval process with a technical review. So, and that could also mean sometimes that updating stores records based on the changes in the plant. So if we take a pump out, for example, and put a new one in, we might need different parts, and some of the old parts are going to be obsolete. And the only way to keep up with that is if you have a management of change process in place where people are documenting what they do. Vendors and suppliers, manage contracts, approve the supplier, update contacts information, and then manage the lead times. So when we talk about stock decision and min-max, the lead time is one of the most important things, of course, we're going to talk about today. And think about it this way, your consumption of a part and the lead time to get it, that's going to decide whether you stock it and how much you're going to stock and what min-max or reorder point is going to be.